I'm Mary. I'm Daisy Cakes on Twitter, and I'm used to talking to preschoolers. So if you could show me your boo-boos, that'd be great. I am a children's librarian, and it takes a certain kind of personality to spend your time around preschoolers. You can't be afraid to make a fool out of yourself. And in the midst of singing endless choruses of Wheels on the Bus and pretending to cry like a dinosaur, I've gained a little wisdom. Kids are like sponges. They're absorbing everything that's around them from the moment they're born. And from about age 1, they start to leak. At about age 3, they're really dripping. Picture books, too, are pretty profound. They've got a lot of information to share and only 32 pages to share it. They're like the Twitter of the book world. I'd like to share with you some of the things I've learned from the preschoolers I work with and the picture books I've shared with them. I was sharing this book with a group of kids, and the pigeon basically tries everything he can to get you to let him drive. At one point in the book, he says, "I never get to do anything." One little girl in story time said, "You can fly." You can't please everybody all the time. One little girl in story time said to me, "I like your hair." A little boy at the back of the room immediately piped up with, "I don't." A little boy started crying in story time once. "It was my turn to talk to Frosty." Frosty's my penguin puppet. "What did you want to tell him?" I said. We're out of cereal." I think he forgot what he wanted to say, but somebody listened to him. Like I said, kids like to show you their boo-boos, even if they're just microscopic scratches. I used to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's no fun." But now I've started saying, "No, I really don't want to see your boo-boos." Doesn't work. I think they just want a little empathy. Kids have great definitions for things. One young man called himself a school-ager, and I thought that was perfect, a perfectly cromulent word. And another boy defined an oval as a circle lying down. Kids have told me with complete conviction that they have seen, owned, or touched live dinosaurs. Really, they totally believe it. And in this story, the little boy is about to be eaten by a super hungry dinosaur. But he says, "Oh, no, you won't," and he ties him up with a garden hose. He believes in his ability to defeat a dinosaur. Right on. Little kids believe what they say, but they don't always think about whether or not they should say it. One little boy said to me, "My aunt cuts my hair, but she doesn't anymore because my uncle crashed into the salon." True story. The kids continue to amaze me. I once saw the most amazing cross-handed, double-fingered nose-picking technique from a boy in the back of the room. In this story, the animals wait till the farmer's asleep before they perform their punk rock version of Old MacDonald. That's my blue-haired puppet, Zeke. Zeke was asked by a little boy, "Why do you have eyes?" "Well, why do you have eyes?" I/Zeke asked the boy. "Because I do." Makes sense to me. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Little kids are really good at thinking outside the, it's not a box, it's a pirate ship or a robot or whatever. Yeah. In this story, the dust bunnies are faced with a terrible foe, a vacuum cleaner. So one of the dust bunnies warns his friends by shouting, "Look out!" After reading this story, a little boy told his teacher, "Miss Mary reads a lot of shouting books." I'm a pretty good worrier, but one little boy gave me a run for my money once. In the middle of the story, he yelled out, "My sock is on backwards!" We fixed it later. No matter what you step in, just keep walking along and singing your song. I think that's a pretty good motto for worriers like me and Sock Boy. But that's Pete the Cat's motto. Pete the Cat is wearing his brand new white shoes and walking down the street. He steps in strawberries, blueberries, mud. But does Pete cry? Goodness, no. He just keeps walking along and singing his song. Pete is one cool cat. He drinks coffee and plays the banjo, too. I get to spend a lot of time sharing picture books with preschoolers. It's my passion. And obviously I have a lot of fun doing it. And you can have just as much fun, and you can also get kids passionate about learning to read by doing simple things like singing with them and sharing books with them. And finally, the last thing I've learned from the preschoolers. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.